it involves some stretch of the imagination to link Tony Robbins and Rene Descartes. Although I think we can do that. Tony's video that's going to follow on this, that I'm posting here, speaks to the idea of rituals, the necessity of performing rituals. And many people think of rituals as physical acts or superstitious acts, something that we might say is a little bit connected with obsessive-compulsive behavior, ritualistic behavior. However, I think there are also intellectual or mental preparatory rituals which allow us to begin to focus our mind and delineate what it is that we're about in this moment of thought. And so you might say these are also a form of trance induction, but they're a very interesting form of trance induction because they permit us to clarify the direction, the intending of our thought from some originating area to a zone of consequence or outcomes or favored ends. I think Immanuel Kant referred to a certain state of mind as the kingdom of ends. Descartes, interestingly, was, among other things, a soldier, and the story goes that when he was stationed in Ulm, or around Ulm, I don't know what war that was, he had a dream, and an angel appeared to Descartes and said to him, "The world shall be known. The world shall be known through measure and number." The other story about the genesis of analytic geometry, that's the metaphor, in this case the metaphor we're referring to, through the idea of a Cartesian system of thinking, is that he was lying on his bed. Apparently he's light to sleep, and he never got up before around noon, or a little bit earlier. And so he'd be in bed, and he'd be on his back, and his mind would be wandering, and he looked up at the ceiling, and there was a fly walking around on the ceiling. And this motion of the fly gave him the idea of the Cartesian coordinates, or thinking on multiple axes, say an x and a y, or higher order systems of geometry. So Tony speaks also of rituals and the importance of rituals. So I'm going to merge these two ideas of Tony's idea of the empowering ritual, or the ritual to set up a state of productive thought, and the Cartesian questions. So my Tony Descartes, who should be a very interesting character, if we could somehow genetically blend Anthony Robbins and Rene Descartes, we'd end up with a fascinating and I think absolutely bizarre being to have as an interlocutor. Tony Descartes would ask this question, but when he started up, when he was beginning to get his focus and getting into that state, preparing to act, he would ask, what am I intending? What are my intentions? What am I intending to understand? Because understanding was very, very important to Descartes' frame of mind. Understanding was everything. In Tony's frame of mind, I don't get the same drive to understanding. I get the drive to doing, the drive to action. One needs both. One needs understanding and doing. One cannot do well without understanding well, and one cannot have much understanding in life without a great deal of doing that confronts one with realities versus ideals or fantasies. So Rene Descartes would say, what am I in this moment intending to understand? What am I determined to understand? Notice the Tony bit of determination. What am I determined to understand? And then Tony Descartes might ask, what am I determined not to understand? What areas of understanding, what areas of insight am I determined to foreclose, or determined to diminish, or determined to tune out? Because as sentient human creatures, we do a great deal of unconscious editing, a great deal of unconscious tuning out, the negative spaces of our thought. So we have to always ask, what am I determined to understand now? How intense, how strong, how passionate is my determination to understand this thing that is before me? How intense and passionate and unconsciously charged is my determination determination not to understand something. George Orwell explores that a great deal. The determinedness of unconsciousness, the willed nature of unconsciousness. Unconsciousness isn't just something that passively kind of settles like a gray fog, but unconsciousness can also be an act of will, an act of unconscious, conscious will, as can consciousness. You have to choose what it is you will be conscious of and choose what it is you will be unconscious of. The third question that Tony Descartes would ask every morning when he got up and faced reality: what am I not determined to understand? What am I do I have no charge of determination toward understanding? What am I taking for granted? What are my takens for granted? Who am I taking for granted? What beliefs and theories and aspects of the world am I taking for granted? I am not determined. I have no sense of great determination to understand this thing. I have no great determination to engage this thing. What am I not determined to not understand? What do I have no great determination to edit out or delete or deliberately, unconsciously misunderstand or not feel, not hear, not sense, not grasp? Because the not feeling, not sensing, not hearing, not grasping is as much a component of the shaping of perception as the determination to see, feel, hear, grasp, make sense of, give shape to, give vital meaning to. What am I depleting meaning from? What am I adding meaning to? Tony Descartes would be a wonderfully strange character to meet. I would really love to sit down and spend a week or something with Tony Descartes, wherever, in what imaginary space this being may exist in, or how he might manifest before me, would probably be among the most intriguing human encounters possible in life. So following this, watch Tony's bit on rituals. And I am not entirely in agreement with Tony on his bit on rituals, but I am in strong partial agreement. And I think later I will follow this up with a discussion of what it is I'm in agreement with and what it is I am not in agreement with. But I think it is very much worth your time and trouble to at least take on and determine to absorb some of what Tony is saying. All right, over and out for now.